So Dokkan Twitter has been really disrespectful towards a lot of these units, and this past week has been a little dry. So I decided to do a video here. We're gonna take a look at. I asked people to send me some of the worst Dokkan takes they have seen in this past week, and if possible, the actual tweet. And I'm gonna look over them. I'm gonna let you guys know how I think. But again, especially I've been seeing slander for LR, Vegeta, and Trunks. People saying he's not even top 5. People saying he's not even top 10. It's just crazy. Like crazy talk. Like what are they talking about? What are they doing? Stuff like that, right? So I don't know. Let's just take a look here and let's see what kind of things people are saying here. Every Vector tweet. So I think I don't recall if Truth did a video on Vector, but Vector makes fine, takes sometimes. It depends. So I wouldn't necessarily agree with this, but it's case by case, for sure. Here it is. It wasn't this past week, but let's see. If Cooler does not receive the help he needs in part 2, this would be the worst release in the game. Foreign Choice number 1, but he's practically unrunnable as he is absolutely embarrassing. Zaha right here. Slightly exaggerated. Yeah, I do agree. STR Cooler and his EZA. Like what I was saying, you can even go back in the old videos. I was always saying what the team really needs is a strong support unit. And that's exactly what STR Cooler was. A very strong modern support unit. And he just like blasts Final Form Cooler up really above. I wouldn't call him the worst release in the game. I mean, this is assuming before part 2, right? Part 1. So we got like the LR Super Saiyans. They unfortunately did not really have much help. They're just they're good, but they're not like anything special. But still, I this wasn't exactly the worst like take ever. Just a little exaggerated right there. Yeah, this is it. Vegeta and Trunks are soon out of the way of the top 10 units in the game. I just don't know where that thought process comes from. Well, I do know, right? And I said this to myself sometimes where what's going to happen is, like, let's say a year or two, where it's not impossible. Like, what if both Beast Gohan and Orange Piccolo, they're mega slot 1 gods? We've been getting a lot of slot 1 units, right? And this unit's sole purpose is to be in slot 1, tank really well, they do some solid damage, right? And they still do extremely well at their job. However, if you get to a situation where you're going to have to either you just have way better units you want to use in slot 1, just superior units on their team, and then this guy has to be pushed to slot 2 or 3, they do lose a 70% attack and defense, which is quite huge. And then if it's past turn 5, they won't have their guard ability anymore. A lot of these events in Red Zone go past turn 5. So that's the only issue with this unit. And then I think one other thing is that they're kind of stuck to their team. And that's all I would say, right, about this unit specifically. They are pretty stuck to, again, their team, like I was saying, right? Because all their other teams are just kind of bad. I mean, I guess there's one other team I can think of, but you're not going to run this team. Again, Future Saga and the Bond of Parent Child, that's their team. Time Travelers doesn't have a lead. Vegeta Family, you're not going to really... really run. Like, these are the 2 other teams, but this team is not really there. This team just kind of sucks, honestly. It's not good at all. This is the team, like, you could technically throw them on Movie Heroes, which is quite good. But I feel like Movie Heroes doesn't even really need slot 1 units. We have a lot of slot 1 units there, and it's like, this, I don't know, Joint Force is not really the greatest either. You basically run them on just their team. Which is a very strong team, mind you. I'm not saying it's bad, but that's just my little consideration. Like, because what if Beast Gohan leads this team, and he's just what if he's just a better version of this unit, right? This unit's still going to be good, but like, you guys kind of get my point. It's a little easy to replace this guy, but I don't think they're out of the way of top 10 units in the game. I think they're still solidly like in the top 3 range. So even Beast Gohan and then what's his face, Beast Gohan and my brain is not working, Orange Piccolo, they're gonna come out and they'll still, it's not gonna, this guy's not gonna be bad, right? That's the thing. Yeah, VT88, it's just, The slander for Vegeta and Trunks, I honestly just don't get it. I have to bring them up again. Like, the thing about Vegeta and Trunks is that, you know, we have a lot of slot 1 units now this year, especially, but it's like, they're still one of the best units just for slot 1. Stacking this high multiplicative defense stat, because you can look at their starter turn defense, but you have to keep in mind they still get another 70% defense, like, when the turn actually starts. It's not something you see. So if they have like 600k defense on a turn, they will still have the 70%, although it's not going to be multiplicative. It'll still be a pretty solid buff, like a good, bare minimum, like 100, 150k defense around there, right? Like, for sure. They have this ability, which is quite strong, right? Very strong links. So, like, this unit's absurd, right? I don't know where their slander came from. It's, if you like more offensive builds, sure. I understand why you might not have this guy like at number 1 in the game, but it's not like this unit does like 0 damage. They do some okay solid damage, right? With the built-in crit, the built-in additionals, the active skill can hit pretty hard because you have stacking attack there, guarantee crits for the turn. Like, this unit is still pretty good offensively. Maybe you need a little luck, but like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Oh, what is this? Oh yeah, I saw this already. How every unit can take, how long you can take for tech go on to out-age every unit. Let's see. I mean, I was literally just saying this, but it's like, no, I don't think that, like, it's a very specific situation. And even then, they'll still be good in slot 1, I think for sure. But like, let's say, I understand, because a bond parent and child get this Beast Gohan lead, and then he's like, slot 1 god, and he just kind of pushes them off the roll. There's like, what other team, like, none of their other teams are relevant. It's like this team that they're relevant in. So it's like, I don't know. I don't think that means Tech Gohan's gonna out-age this guy, no, but give it a year for Cooler. The thing with Cooler is that it's like, we got all the buffs for him, and then unless they go out of their way to release Frieza units, which are not common at all, I don't know about Cooler, but again, 2 months is a bit low still. I mean, a lot of this is based off of, goodness, okay. I'm just gonna, yeah, honestly, I think he's out-aged Pan, probably. I would say, yeah, if like Beast Gohan comes out anniversary, I feel like I'm probably gonna use Tech Gohan over this Pan, right? Probably Ginyu as well. Majin Vegeta, I'm not sure. It always depends on the Trunks. This guy is tanky as hell, though. I disagree, probably. Bardock is actually going to out-age Gohan. That 5-turn Scouter is just too good. It's too good. Too good. Yeah, I'm just... I don't know. We'll have to see, but... he's kind of... How do I explain it? He's just not going to get, like, really good partners for him too often. Yeah, it depends on Kid Goku. Because Kid Goku, given that support, is pretty wild. Yeah, I agree there. Yeah, better than Goku Gohan. Yeah, I don't know. Yep. I don't know. Some of these units I understand, but like, I don't know. Up here, it's probably gonna be, yeah. Realistically, he needs an easy A. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's like kind of weird. It's like I have to wait and see for some of these units, but it's not the worst ever, but I don't know if he's gonna out-age some of those units listed. Like, I don't know even if will he even out-age Cooler? I have no idea. It really depends on what releases. Like, a Beast Gohan comes out, this man's giving like Tech Gohan 70% support, showing all his defense links. Like, who knows? What if we got like LR First Form Frieza that gives like 80% support to freaking Wicked Bloodline or some shit, right? And then Cooler becomes absurd, right? Like, we can't tell. It depends on what they release, right? So yeah. Well, not necessarily, because the actual difficult content limits the items you could use. So let's take a look at Cell Max. You can only use Sensu Beans. Let's take a look at, let's say, Red Zone. You can only use one item. And then support memories, right? I think support memories are something that you could use a little bit, but It's like items themselves, they're clearly restricting them. So units that do better without items will perform better in these contents that restrict your items. So that's why you can't really rate a unit with items. You know, that's the whole thing with like Blue Cow Ken back in the past, right? Even back then you could use items though, so it's not the biggest deal, but still, I just think that obviously with items, it's just gonna be a much easier thing to make units look better. While, units who are better with items, I feel like they're just gonna have a more solid kit, whether they're offensive based or defensive based. But defensive based tend to be better without items. They tend to age better. So that's why I'm a little bit more of a defensive guy, Just my take on it. I understand if you like offensive units, that's perfectly fine, right? You might have one later today. We're recording, my bad. Let's see. Is it here? No. Might start comments, so get ready for that, guys, I guess. You think this is satire? Okay, so I'm gonna say it, and I've said this before. Let me move my chair real quick, but I can see the argument a little. I think that the Gammas and Kengoku are on the tier of Cooler, Bird Coup, and Vegeta and Trunks. A lot of people would disagree with me there, but I think that they're just too good. They're really good. Kid Goku does stuff that no other unit in the game does. The Gammas together, they're just stupid, right? Gamma 2, especially in the first few turns, his defense is probably just better than Vegeta and Trunks. And then even after, it's like he still tanks pretty well. I think Vegeta Trunks, as the battle goes on, will look better. But like if we're talking about like Metal Cooler Core, Gamma 2 clears, Cell Max, the Vegeta and Trunks are probably better. It depends on the situation you're in and the team you're running, right? Gamma 2 though, I wouldn't say he's above these two maybe. If I had a personal ranking, I would probably have these two above Gamma 2. But Gamma 2 is insane. You don't underrate Gamma 2. I could see why people may like Gamma 2 better than Gamma 1 if you're an offensive player, but I just personally disagree. But at 7, Vegeta and Trunks, I would like, no. I would say no to that though, but well, they suck. I'm sorry. They suck. What can I say? Oh, and a Vector's top 10. It's like all these saying that. See someone say Take On isn't the best TUR. Best unit, I mean. That's true. Okay. Let's see. They thought that pure defensive or offensive teams exist. Yeah, I think that there has to be a mix of both, right? There's no pure offensive team. There's no pure defensive team. But there's like a defensive base, offensive based, right? I think that's a better way to say it. I mean, yeah, because Yamcha has his, like, if you take a look here, defense-wise, Yamcha has his dodge. Wait, let me see what you say. Yeah, Nameku stacking, right? There's a lot of defensive abilities in here that you have to consider. Like, if this is my Super Saiyan 2 Goku, he has full dodge, right? It just, there's defensive stuff that you have to consider. Yeah, a lot of people are saying stuff like this. I mean, isn't that the worst take ever? I always thought Cell was a little underrated, but he never really got, again, a true partner. Unfortunately. But yeah. Okay. No, this is just wrong. This is, no. Texture number has restrictions. No. Come on. Okay, we're just gonna end it there with this. Let me know what y'all think. Don't catch what it takes. I just felt doing a video about this, and I'll catch you next time.